Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here, and this is the Prologue, a weekly series of videos where I document my activities, track my stats, and complete quests, all for the sake of achieving my ultimate goal of creating my dream virtual reality rig by 2022. The active quest for the past 3 weeks has been On Point game development. This is the final week and therefore the final part to this quest. So, how did I do? Let's have a quick run through the synopsis segment to find out. The changes in point values this week were overall positive. We managed to get exactly what we needed for game development this week, which was at the very least 6. This means that we actually had one more miss available to me that isn't being used, but I'm not exactly going to complain about it too much, and that one miss was exactly the day that I was expecting for it to be, which was the beginning of class. Thankfully, I don't have any classes on Friday, so that means that didn't impact my schedule in any particular manner. So, all in all, we have 2 misses overall for the past 3 weeks, which means you can kind of guess how the quest turned out, but we'll get to that in a little bit. As for engineering, I kind of lament that I haven't been spending as much time doing things in regards to engineering, but I kind of expect that just because it's not exactly the kind of thing where you just casually flip open a book and you can consider that practice. And it's not like coding or programming or anything art related, because you kind of have to do something very physical and tangible for it to really be considered much engineering work. Although I would consider some Arduino sketching and things along that line being more productive. So I really do need to get around to that, and I think I'm going to base my quest on that, which again, we'll cover in the next segment. On a less positive note, I'm not a very big fan of how my calories and just general weight have been slightly creeping back upwards instead of downwards since I ended off the last side quest. I'm not going to really add in the side quest again, but I am going to begin taking some measures in order to try to reel that back into control, which is switching my kind of mentality on the matter back from a overall looking at the calories on a daily basis to a looking at the calories on a per meal basis. But to end things off on a more positive note, I managed to get the full 7 points on my Japanese development, which basically just means that I managed to get in all of my study sessions unimpeded this past few weeks. This is a very good thing, because I think that just staying on top of a language is a very good way to kind of keep it fresh, and I think that it's been having a very positive impact overall on my development. I've actually been finding that I'm able to read more and more things that pop up in kanji from time to time, whether it be just some general thing that shows up in a sign in an anime, or some literal text that I just see while I'm reading manga. So it's a very nice thing to see the fruits of my labor finally panning out, so hopefully we'll be able to see even better results over the coming months and years. Now then everyone, to address the quest directly, the quest for the weeks of August 12th through to September 1st, On Point game development, is complete! While the expressed goal of this quest was to increase my points in game development, in truth, it kind of had the subtle goal of trying to just get me back on track, and just looking at the results for my Japanese, my increasing focus on game development, and my attention to certain aspects of my day-to-day life right now as they are, I think that I've managed to get that out of this. So, all in all, it's a very positive thing, and looking at my current class schedule and the way things have panned out for the first few days so far, I have a feeling that school isn't going to really be another big factor like it was over the summer. So, hopefully we'll be able to see me staying on track for the coming months. With that 3-week quest now wrapped up though, it's time for me to set my next quest for the week of September 2nd through to September 8th. Unreal Arduino. The goal here is to have my Arduino Mega connect with Unreal Engine and communicate some information as a byproduct of that. Whatever method I use in order to accomplish this isn't really of consideration, but just the general idea of being able to connect my Arduino to Unreal Engine is the goal here, because this is going to play a significant factor in what I'm going to be doing in the future, since you can't really have much fun with a VR rig if you have nothing to play with it. Now then everyone, that just about does it for me though, but you all had a quest to be completing as well. Your quest, the last weeks of summer, called for you to report in on what you intend to do, or what you usually want to do, during the final weeks of summer. We had a lot of clears for this quest, so congratulations to Grey Wolfers, Benny G, Subheim Agar, Phoenix Fireblazer, Daniel Vera, Luix, ZXRon, William Morgan, PRNG Ryan, and Luxury. Congratulations for completing the quest to all of you, and thank you very much for sharing your summer activities with us in the comments section. However, only one person among this clears list was going to receive the coveted sketch spot for this week. And that person was none other than Grey Wolfers. Congratulations for completing the quest, and thank you very much for being right on top of things. The character you selected for this quest was Akira Fudo from Devilman Crybaby. I kind of lament that I haven't really seen this anime yet, because unfortunately at the beginning of this year, I culled back a lot of my spending on things such as streaming and online subscriptions, and one of the things that went in that process was Netflix. I kept Crunchyroll because it had a sufficient amount of anime, and I could kind of justify it by saying I'd be practicing by watching Japanese only during the process. But with Netflix, there's just too much of an intermixing between regular content and Japanese content, so I just wound up cutting out Netflix. With my lack of knowledge about the series, though, I decided just to try to find some kind of way to tackle the drawing in a more interesting manner. Looking at the series being called Devilman Crybaby, though, it seems that the main character transforms into a devil at some point, or perhaps he has the ability to do so. I'm not sure about the particulars, but either way, when a character can kind of transform so differently like that, it kind of made me interested in how I could tackle things. So I decided to try to capture both of his forms in this drawing. On the one side we have his human state, while on the other side we have his demonic state. I did this once again using traditional media, so pardon the quality of the scan there, but I kind of like how it turned out if I'm going to be honest, just because I managed to get quite a bit of size and mass in there. I think if I could go back over it digitally at some point in the future, I might kind of fill in the right half of the demon's body a bit more since it looks a little bit hollow right now. But all in all, it was a very fun sketch to do, and I hope that you enjoy the drawing, Grey Wolfers. Once again, thank you very much for your submission, and congratulations for being the first clearer of the quest. Now then everyone, let's finish this up with your quest for the coming week. The first day. Your task will be to share any experiences you've had beginning somewhere new, whether that be school, a new class, a new club, a new department at work, at a new general place, a new town, a new country, whatever experience you may have where you've just generally had that feeling where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to meet a bunch of new people, what will they think of me, am I going to leave a good impression, that kind of a thing. As you can imagine, the inspiration for this quest is the fact that I've just started up school again, and this being college, every new class is a new opportunity to meet a bunch of new faces. It's kind of the routine, if we're being honest, just because people pop in and out of college all the time, so you never really know what kind of a mixture of people you're going to have at any given moment inside of a classroom. Once again, the first clearer will receive a shout out and the drawing for the week, along with the other 9 clearers receiving their shout outs. Well then everyone, that just about does it for this week. Till next time, my fellow adventurers and dreamers, this has been Gregory, logging out.